Welcome everyone to round 3 of the Iracing.com V8 Supercar official online series, presented by Extreme Sim Gear, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercar Fan Group. Jack Kennedy in the host chair from Circuit Park Zandvoort in the Netherlands, and empty beside me at the moment, Stephen Sandman Clark, about to do a hot lap for us. G'day, Sandman.
G'day, mate. Yeah, lucky the commentary box isn't too far from pit lane, fresh from the earlier race. So, yeah, I think I got talked into doing somewhat of a hot lap. Let's call it a lukewarm lap, and yeah, it should be a bit of fun. Yeah,
lukewarm lap still for me, so it's all right. Now, firstly, I want to say beautiful car number, 31, great car number, the best number you can have on your car.
That's right. That's something I've carried over pretty much all my career. When I first got the first drive in over at R Factor, that was the first number I was issued, and I've kept with it ever since.
Yeah, for me it was my old basketball number, so I've used that number in pretty much everything I've done for the last 20 odd years, so it's amazing how a number can stick with you for so long.
Yeah, it's nice to sort of carry over a number where you can, and I've got quite attached to the old 31, and yeah, I get a little bit depressed sometimes when she's not on the window, but it's good to have it on here at the moment.
That's why I don't like joining sessions with you, because you've already taken the good car number. Now, Circuit Park Zandvoort, not the track we're used to seeing with the fast sweeping bend. We've got a hairpin with sort of half the circuit we normally do. It's down to 2.9 Ks. Really affects the track though, doesn't it, Sam?
Oh, you're not wrong, mate. Probably one of the most difficult corners, I think, in iRacing. Really tough on car setup just to get it right, and it really predicts what sort of lap you're going to put together if you get it right or wrong.
You're coming up to that section of the track now. I think it's looking through every circuit we go to. This is the slowest corner we go to in the iRacing calendar. I think it's 55 Ks at the apex. A tough one to get the power down from as well, and a lot of different lines you can take in it.
You're not wrong. Gear ratio plays a big part here too. I know a lot of the drivers have gone for a 375 ratio just for speed, but personally I've gone for a 350 just sort of to try and eliminate some of that wheel spin out of that turn. So it's worked okay, but I am giving up a bit of pace switching to that gear ratio.
You do gain that little bit of pace back at the end of the long straight though, because I know the 375 ratio just is on the limiter at the end, so you can get a little bit of speed, and maybe that encourages a passing opportunity. Take this lap away, Sam, man.
It's important to try and get some sort of good run without sort of spinning the tyres, getting it loose, coming on the front straight, 1/6 gear. Really easy to lock up tyres coming into this turn. Hard on the brakes. Back to second for me. Try not to lock up that left front. Oh, try and get on the power as well without giving away too much. Up to fourth, back to third. Nice little tight right-hander, and then hard into the left-hander hairpin. Second gear for myself. Try to keep it down low as you can. Feet on the throttle as gentle as you can. Up to fourth, fifth for me, and then all the way back to second or first, depending on your driving style. I'd probably like to go back to second during the race. We'll go back to first just for now, see what sort of run we get out. Try not to light up the tyres on exit. Back to second, try and cut as much as you can without giving up too much. Stay in second. Again, hard on the throttle. Up to third. Fourth gear, back to third for the right-hander. It's real important to try and get this part right without giving up too much on exit. You can really get the car sideways. Try to get into that apex. Down the front straight, pull fifth, pull sixth, and that's a somewhat lukewarm lap in the Hyper Simulator TTR Falcon.
1:13.8, so that's good mid-race lap at the pace you do about lap 15 or 16 of the race, so I guess that'll do for now. Always gain an extra second on your qualifying lap to a hot lap in the combox, I think.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with my qualifying time this week. Obviously not as quick as the big boys up front, but it was a lot quicker than that in qualifying, so I'm happy.
Yeah, qualifying times at the moment, you're looking at a 1:11, so amazing lap times at the moment. Justin Ruggie on pole position. He's actually driving out on the track with you at the moment, and it's going to be hard to beat this week.
He has been on it from day dot. He was pretty keen to get out testing as of last week when we wrapped up last week's round. And he certainly hasn't let everyone down. He's been so pacey, and I honestly can't see anyone beating him this week.
Yeah, he actually, not joking, he was actually practicing for this week while we were still talking to him last week after the race. So 2.9 kilometres in length, 8 turns, 30 lap race. Only 87 kilometres in length, so be no pit stops tonight, all out, flat out race. Should be nice and close, action packed, very, very tight track as you could see, and it'll be tough to pass.
Yeah, I definitely found that out firsthand. You find yourself, if you're around traffic that are pretty much doing on the same lap times, it's almost impossible to pass. There's a couple of areas that you probably could have a bit of a dive bomb, but if you don't get any cooperation with the guy that you're making the pass on, it's going to be contact. So you've got to be very mindful of where you get that job done, but it's going to be almost impossible to pass.
We actually seen quite a few blown engines coming into turn 1 as well in the early race tonight. So something a lot of guys will be mindful of is downshifting coming into turn 1. It's a very, very aggressive braking area, hard braking area. So I think we saw last season as well, we saw a couple of blown engines there too.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with, since the new build, these cars tend to lock a lot of front brake, probably a lot easier than what they have in the past. So I think a lot of people are relying on that downshift, into turn 1. So that's probably where that problem snuck up. But quite interesting. I don't know why it sort of changed, so much to be, quite difficult to stop it from locking up. But we're all sort of getting our heads around it with car setup. And as long as people aren't too aggressive on the downshift, fingers crossed we won't see too much engine dramas tonight.
So not far away from qualifying, the final qualifying session for the week. It's been very, very close up the front and amazing lap times. We thought early on we'd be lucky to see anyone break into the 1:11 barrier. But we've seen quite a few break into that 1:11. Justin Ruggier, pole position of 1:11.224. Then it's George Maris, second position. Madison Down, Josh Muggleton, Vale Riches, Anton De Pasquale, John Emerson, Michael Fabian McLeod, and Matthew Hill, the top 10. Now, Sam, once again, a little bit lower than we'd like to be this week.
Yeah, and that's just indicative of the racetrack. I mean, it's, we're doing quick laps around here, like I said, 1:11, 1:12 for a fast lap time around here. So you can see just how close it is. There's so many guys that are sort of, whether they're on 11.5s or 12.0s or 12.2s, there's so many people in that same bracket. So what I just sort of 1.2 seconds off pole, but I think I try and sort of aim myself. If I'm sort of under a second near Madison, I sort of think I'm having a good week. So I've managed to do that this week.
Unless he ruins it on the last session. Now, somewhat sad but exciting week this week. This will be our final broadcast week on our current live stream channel. Next week we will be broadcasting live at our new Twitch TV channel. So www.twitch.tv/v8sonline. We will be broadcasting live in high definition.
Yeah, exciting times. It's really exciting. There's been so much work that's gone on behind the scenes to get all this pretty much as perfect as we can, and it's going to just really add to our broadcast. It's been such an improvement. We've been so excited to have V8 Supercar fan group on board, and I think our broadcasts are starting to take off in leaps and bounds. So as of next week, it's going to look sensational, and don't forget, if you forget that address, we'll have plenty of information on our Facebook page just to keep you all up to date.
Yeah, also our website will get a bit of an overhaul during the week this week. So if you do miss the actual web address, jump on our website, www.v8sonline.com.au, and you'll be able to watch the stream live there. There will be an embedded stream there for you to watch. Also, you can still chat live with us as you can do on the live stream channel. We're more than happy to chat to you while the race is on as well. You can also chat to us on Twitter at v8sonline, or as Sam said, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/v8sonline.
Where would we be without social media, hey? It's really taken off, everywhere, regardless of what you do in sim racing and even real world sports. It's really great to be in touch with everyone.
It's Twitter. I was never a fan of Twitter, but I've come over it over the last 8 or 9 months, and I think it's fantastic, especially if you're into a special or speciality sort of thing, like whether it be motorsport or golf or cricket or whatever you're into. It's really, really good to keep in touch with what's going on in your chosen hobby, I guess. You can follow whoever you like in that field, and It's quite fantastic. So if you're not on Twitter and think it's ridiculous, jump on. It's actually quite good.
We might even add a bit of incentive. We might even have to do some behind-the-scene pics of how we go about doing V8s online. I've had a couple of people actually ask me through the week. We've caught up through testing and that, and they've actually been quite interested in how we do the telecast. So that might be a bit of flavour to everyone to get across to Twitter, and we might sort of do that in the coming weeks.
Actually, we will be doing a few things on Twitter in association with V8 Supercar Fan Group in the coming weeks. As we said the last few weeks, keep your eye on the V8 Supercar Fan Group cars in the coming weeks, because there will be something special available via that in the coming weeks. We're not far away from final qualifying, a couple of minutes away, not far. But as we said, Justin Muggier, man to beat this week. He's been a lot quicker than anyone else in any session.
Yeah, the scary part is I've been watching. I've been actually fortunate enough to be in some of the races where he's absolutely flogged me. But going back and watching the replays and just seeing how he goes about putting those races together, it's scary. It looks like he's doing it quite easy, and honestly can't see anyone beating him unless, touch wood, anything goes wrong.
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't see anyone beating Richard Hampstead. Unfortunately, not racing this week. He's had no time to practice. Rens Brookman, the king or the mayor of Zandvoort, I don't think he's racing this week. So, a couple of usual faces we have at this racetrack that won't be with us tonight, unless Rens was doing a little bit of late practice. So, fingers crossed he will make an appearance.
Yeah, like you said, he's almost the mayor of this place. He was absolutely dominant when we were here on the longer circuit. Wasn't all that long ago, actually, a few weeks ago. So, yeah, surprising not to see him, but never rule it out. Qualifying's just about to get underway, so we'll be able to have a quick sneaky look to see if he's taking part.
Yeah, a few of the teammates are trying to talk him into it, but he was pretty sure he wasn't going to do it. But you never know what happens. He has registered for qualifying, so we might see him out in the race in about half an hour's time. But as I said, qualifying pictures will be coming through from qualifying in just a few moments. Quite a big number of drivers participating in this final qualifying session too. So we will have a very busy racetrack, which, as we know, makes it very, very tough to get that final flying lap in.
And here too, because we're saying it's such a short lap, it's going to make it just that much harder when you've got that many cars on track, just trying to get a bit of real estate to yourself. So the boys are going to have their work cut out for them.
And we always talk about Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin racing in the series with us. Unfortunately, those guys won't be with us this week due to commitments with the New Zealand Super Tourers. But just looking through the drivers that are out practicing, Fabian Coulthard's actually having a bit of a drive in the V8 at the moment. Good to see a few other real-life V8 drivers try to tackle the beast. It is very, very different to driving a real car, no matter how close they can make the car to a real-life car. The feel of a car, you lose that when you sim race. So it makes it very tough for a lot of those guys.
Just also have a look. Will Davison's on the server somewhere. He's not in the V8's one at the moment. Shane is on, but doesn't look like he's in qualifying. Like I said, Fabian Coulthard. I see Owen Kelly's there racing about. So, plenty of good names and good fun to race with those guys too.
They're just waiting for pictures to come through. Looks like we're having a few server issues at the moment, waiting for the session to start. Like it's just started now. There won't be long before we get pit to you.
It's always interesting this last session of qualifying, where the guys are desperate to make that one last change and hopefully boost themselves up the grid some way. But also, you'll find guys that will make little last-minute changes to the car and use it as a bit of a test session. So, although as interesting as qualifying gets, I can't see anyone pipping Ruggier.
No, I can't either. He's going to be very, very tough to beat in this qualifying session. Not often you say Madison's struggling to find 3/10 to get close to pole, but this week he's been a long way off and he just can't find any of that time.
Yeah, I've seen three things at TCR has been interesting. We've had a bit of a chat amongst the boys and we're trying to see where his strengths are. I think, personally, I'm not sure if this is the case or not, but I think a lot of it's got to do with that difficult right-hand hairpin that's on this racetrack. It's really a key to putting together a decent lap.
Yeah, lots of different lines through that hairpin. See Josh Muggleton on screen, as we said, P4 at the moment.
And he's another driver that's been making sort of last minute changes to his car. Been very happy with it all week. Like all of us, we're all scratching our head with Ruggy this time, but I know he's just made the last couple of changes in the last half an hour or so, so he's obviously given that a bit of a whirl. It'd be interesting to see what sort of times he punches out in the Hop Simulator Falcon.
George Maris as well, very, very quick this week. 1:11.4, so at the moment he is in P2.
I love watching the attitude of these cars coming onto the front straight. It can be quite tricky, trying to get onto the throttle as early as you can or early as you dare just to get down on that front straight out of that last turn.
There's an 11.6 there by Muggleton. That's, well, 5/100ths off his PB for the week.
There you go. So he's obviously happy with those changes that he's made.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of time. We go to George Maris. There's a 1:11.6, so it's 0.2 off his best lap for the week. We go to Justin Ruggie, just about to start his flying lap, I believe. Actually, no, it looks like he's doing a race run, doing his second flying lap. Actually, out of it. Right on cue. If our director can, see if our director can go to Chris Tarrant, the debut of the new Direct Clutch Services Falcons this week.
Yeah, great looking car. It's nice they've taken the wraps off it, and it's nice that these guys have sort of mixed up their liveries a little bit. It's a nice little touch to the team.
Yeah, we've got Corey driving with those guys now this season, as well as Anton De Pasquale, Chris Tarrant and Stu Wood. We've got Anton De Pasquale on screen at the moment. Slightly different colours between the four cars. Stu will be running the pink, Chris in red, Anton in blue and Corey in green.
So on screen now, Sean Kelly, the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon, just gets a little bit wide, touches the grass or the dirt there. Won't have lost too much there. You can pretty much get away with just run a little bit wide there, but he's going to come up to this real difficult section of the racetrack. A little bit sideways. He's had a moment there.
Yep.
There's plenty of escape road there to pull it up. So yeah, I'll just say just how difficult it is, and he proved it.
The toughest corner, the slowest corner we have in the whole series. So if you can get it right, you feel like a superstar. But it's very, very easy to get it wrong.
The man on screen, Rob Hartley, we seem to be talking about him more and more as each week goes on. He's really sort of finding pace, and he'd be fairly happy with his pace over the last few weeks. It's been really good to race with him, and it's actually quite a difficult character to get past when he's on it.
They're currently sitting P17, his best lap for the week, a 1:12.330. End of that lap looked pretty good, across the line of 1:12.5. There won't be an improvement for him, but always a good base to start. If you're about 0.2 away from your best lap, start of the session, you usually, by the end of it, will at least match your best time.
Another name we keep sort of talking about, we did a little bit last week, is Anthony Kernich. Probably more known for his oval track racing, but he's decided to jump into the Falcon and give that a bit of a steer, and probably hasn't found it as easy as he'd hoped. I think that's probably the one thing that gets everyone's attention, that they probably realise that it's not going to be easy, but the pace is incredible from some of the front guys.
I've just seen John Emerson blast his way through the timing sheets, a 1:11.491. That'll put him to P3. Ruggier, Maris, and now Emerson.
Wow.
Kernich just starting his flying lap. He was actually on his outlap then, a very, very fast outlap though.
Car looked a little bit nervous there, just approaching the hairpin, but he's doing a good job feeding on the throttle nicely. He's got a little bit of traffic around him, so hopefully that doesn't play too much of a key coming into this section.
I'm just trying to find his best lap for the week. I don't actually know if he's posted a qualifying lap so far this week. Not 100% sure on that.
He's put somewhat of the time so far down in the session. Obviously not a real screamer. 13.8 on the board so far, but looking to improve on this lap.
The driver we need to watch his lap as well is Vale Riches. He's on a quite a lap at the moment. And Riches aborted his lap, so Koenig crosses the line with a 3rd-2. John Emerson, as we said, going to P3. He'll be extremely excited. Sorry, Sam.
No, you're not right. I was going to say the exact same thing. He'll be wrapped, especially when you find that little bit more pace in the last qualifying session. It's a real shot in the arm, so he'll be thrilled with that.
He actually found quite a lot of time. His best lap before that was an 11.8, so he's gained nearly 4/10 of a second, three and a bit tenths of a second. That's a fantastic gain.
He'll be jumping in the race soon.
Oh. Lucky we don't do post-qualifying interviews. We go to another driver that's driving the right number, car 31, Mitch Abril. Another guy I don't like to join a session with because he's stolen my number.
It's funny how attached you come to your number, isn't it? There's a lot of guys out there that do have a favourite number. Oh, he's having a moment there. That'll be the end of that lap, unfortunately.
Sorry, Mitch, we just ruined you there. Now driving the former champion's car, Corey Henger. This is Richard Hampstead's old car. They've just tweaked it. Well, that's what he's saying anyway. When Richard Hampstead won his first championship.
Yeah, so he's got no excuses as he gets a little bit sideways on exit there.
Don't worry, he'll find one. 13-1. Muggleton, big moment!
Oh, crunch! The Hyper Simulator Falcon into the fence. That's going to be a costly repair bill before the start of this next race, but obviously not the result he wanted, but wow, what a shame.
That was Seb's fault, Muggo, not mine or Sandman's. Just so you know. We always get the blame when things like that happen, but that one wasn't us.
100% Seb, fantastic.
I never knew that the director had a curse. I always knew the commentator, but not the director.
Well, maybe it's wearing off on him, so maybe we can just, shoulder him the blame all the time.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Well, he is a silent voice, so... Got a somewhat a familiar-looking car now with the launch of the Red Bull Racing Commodores. Matthew Nethercote. His own version. He's had this livery for quite a long time, so I think Red Bull Racing Australia might have looked at this for some inspiration.
Yeah, it's not too far off what the guys at Triple Eight have done. So yeah, it's a nice little paint scheme. Like you said, he has had that one for quite some time. So it was pretty exciting, wasn't it, over the weekend to get our first flavour of V8 Supercars with Mercedes, Nissan, Holden, Ford, the new colours, the new drivers. It's really great to have V8s back, and it'll be on our TV screens very shortly.
It was like a first day at school. You just wanted to go and see what everyone had, what everyone's new lunch boxes and uniforms were. And no, it wasn't that exciting. I didn't like first day of school, but sounds good. Go to George Maris. Very, very impressed with his speed this week.
Yeah, I have been, but haven't been at the same time. He's a lot quicker than I am in my division, so he's absolutely flogging me, but it's good to see. He's very pacey, and he's obviously well deserved to be in Division 1, and that won't be too far away, no doubt.
Does an 11.5, so not good enough to improve, but that would have put him P4 anyway. Fantastic lap by Maris. Go to Justin Ruggier if we can. He's on a very, very good lap at the moment.
Nice and tidy on exit, that's good.
Crosses the line of 1:11.4. That's the best lap of the session.
On screen, the EasyWorks Falcon of John Latham. Currently P8th in this session, 12.187. 13 minutes gone, so we're just under 7 minutes to go for the last crack of qualifying. And we've already seen a couple of drivers improved on their time, so that's good to see.
I think Latham yet to put a lap down this week. The normally driver we've been seeing around that top 10 mark, but I can't see him in the top 100 at this stage, so I'm guessing he's yet to put down a time. I can't see him doing a 1 minute 20. Best 1:12.188, which will put him in P12.
It's not too shabby if you haven't punched out a qualifying time all week, so at least it sort of puts him up towards the pointy end of the field. So he's trying to improve on this one as he crosses the line, maybe starting a hot lap now.
That was actually a very, very quick outlap.
It's interesting that you say that, because we've touched on it a little bit since the new build with you know, the tyre changes that we went through in the off season, and a lot of people have said that it's probably not all that important as it was in seasons gone by to have that slowish outlap.
I think it's not necessarily important to have the slow outlap. You just have to take care of your tyres in the slow corners, not put too much load on the front tyres. A few guys starting their hot laps now. Muggleton on screen.
Oh, a little moment coming in there. Got a little bit sideways on the brakes.
Mustn't have hurt him too much because he's pushed on.
We'd be a lot happier now that car's a lot straighter than it was a couple of moments ago.
Yep. Lucky there's a reset button.
I don't think the boys at Hyper Simulator would be impressed with us throwing repair bills at them all the time.
Yeah, Emerson's decided he's had enough. He's off to go and calm down from his amazing lap time. Great job by John Emerson.
Hey, boys go over the moon when you pick up 1 or 2 tenths, and he's managed to find, you know, 4 tenths is sensational, so he'll be wrapped.
Muggleton aborts his lap. A little bit too much wheel spin out of the S-Complex there. Better George Maris. As we said, currently P2.
I love watching how these cars behave in qualifying. It really gives you a good indication of you know, the guy's pace, and you know, sometimes they make it just look so incredibly easy, and you just think, how are they punching out these times, and where are they finding that gain? But you know, a heck of a lot of it comes down to just how good they you know, tweak and work on their car setups.
We often see, it's the same in real life as well, the slow looking times are often the quickest.
Well, so far so good. Fairly tidy out of these last couple of turns. Does a nice job just getting back on the throttle.
Yeah, nice lap.
Fastest so far of his time is 11.5. Pretty much matches it. Goes a fraction quicker.
Fastest driver in the final section of the track though in this session. He lost a little bit of time in the middle of the track, but that last 2 corners he found a lot of time. Almost 2 tenths quicker than Justin and John's best laps in this session.
Probably a good chance to ride on board with Justin Ruggier, just to give you some sort of idea of just how tight this corner is that we've been talking about pretty much all of our telecast. We'll even go quiet a little bit just so you can listen to the throttle application that he has to do just to get round this corner. So it's the next set of corners coming up into the tight right hand hairpin. Oh, wow.
Crazy, he's into 3rd gear and then he's full throttle. And just looking at the speed too, he's down to 53 kilometres per hour in that corner.
And he's still getting a little bit of wheel spin there, so
yeah.
He did a great job though. Made it look too easy.
Yep. I think I've worked out where I've done wrong all week. You know, I'm happy I did a 1 minute 15. I fluked a 1 minute 15 this week, Sandman, so 4 seconds off the pace. I was really happy with that. Justin crosses the line. 1:11.1.
Wow.
That's a new world record time. 1:11.185.
Wow, and we rode on board. You could hear just how crucial it was to get out of that tight right-hander. A brilliant, brilliant job from Justin Ruggier. 1:11.185.
That's an amazing lap. He's 3/10 quicker than the next car. That's unheard of in this series.
Yeah, if that doesn't make everyone want to pack up and go home right now, nothing will, because mate, everyone's going to be totally deflated by that time, and Ruggier will be going through the roof.
Back to Josh Muggleton. As we said, currently P4, 1:11.590 is his best time for the week. Driver ahead of him is Madison down at 1:11.504.
Oh, that upset the car a little bit. Just got the left sides up on that ripple strip, and that unweighted the car and caused him a little bit of grief, but he's going to get on with it.
It's in a section of the track that it might not cost you a lot of time. With the new tyre, we can actually drift the car a little bit more than we could in the past. So not as much as we used to on the old tyre model, when a drift lap was basically the fastest way to drive the car. But you can drift a little more than you could in the past. Massive wheel spin from Muggo coming out of the S's.
Yeah, it's incredible how much you fight that, especially at this track. There's a couple of turns that the rear end really wants to light up on you, so it's all about getting the power down, that throttle control, and having the car weighted right as he just gets a little bit sideways on exit. See what this time will be.
1:11.6. Not enough for Muggleton. He's in the fence. And right ahead of him, Latham spins. There's checkered flag now out, waiting for drivers to finish their final flying lap. Not many drivers left actually doing a flying lap at the moment. Looks like we might have finished qualifying. A few drivers just upping around. Corey actually finishing his final lap. He's actually on a flyer at the moment, looking at the timing sheet. Only decided to race about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, not a bad effort. Fastest time for this session, 12:08.49. And no time for him, unfortunately. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've witnessed something incredible. You're on board with Justin Ruggier to punch out that 11.185. So if you want to know how it's done, jump on board, watch the replay, and you'll see exactly how it's done. A brilliant drive by Justin.
Yeah, fantastic. Big congratulations to Justin for that lap. But in about 10 minutes' time, it might not mean anything anymore because it's only qualifying. The race is still yet to come.
Yes, anything could happen, but if I was a betting man, I know where I'd safely lay my chips.
Yeah, I'd be the same. Is that going to be a tough man to beat this week? But one factor we actually haven't spoken about yet is Renz Brookman wasn't in that session. He actually had no practice this week, goes to P5 with a 1:11.600. So the grid will be Ruggier from Maris, down Muggleton, Brookman, Riches, De Pasquale, Emerson, Fabian and McLeod, the top 10. Going to be a fantastic race. We'll be back in around about 7 or 8 minutes time for round 3 of the Iracing.com V8 Supercar official online series presented by Extreme Sim Gear, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercars Fan Group. Back shortly.